Seems like the people have spoken. It seems like the people only want a discounted ticket. Join us as we take a complete tour around the park, every land and every attraction, and where we'll find the park pretty darn empty by Disney standards. This is our State of DCA report. This is FreshBaked. Let's go, yeah, FreshBaked. Let's do it. Let's do another State of DCA report today. I am excited to be here, as I am every week, of course, for these State of reports. So too is the group of park hoppers out there trying to get their way into DCA. I love the enthusiasm of those 11 a.m. park hoppers, and that's about what time it is. It's about 11:05 in the a.m. here on a Sunday morning, soon to be Sunday afternoon. And we're excited to see what's going to happen to us in this park today. Completely up in the air. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like what we found 2 weeks ago, but we'll see. Let's get that vibe check down Buena Vista Street. Check that. It is 11:11 a.m. here on this Sunday morning. It's about 74 degrees right now. Perfect, absolutely perfect weather for a trip down Buena Vista Street and into California Adventure. This is going to be a glorious day. The temperatures are supposed to get up into the mid 80s today, but we're going to catch most of the lower ones, which is nice. Vibe is pretty vibing actually right now, but again, this is probably some of that 11 a.m. park hopper traffic that we're experiencing today, but I'm pretty happy to see all these guests right now out here on Buena Vista Street, ready to have themselves a day. There you go. There you go, DCA. There's the red car trolley. In just a couple of months, they're going to close the red car, but hopefully it's for a good reason. Hopefully it's not just because they don't want to be in the red car trolley business, which, I mean, they probably don't because they're trying to get out of the Hollywood business in the back lot, but hopefully there's something really magnificent on the other side of that closure. By the way, did you happen to notice the sound of water running behind me become a special day when they've got the Carthay fountain flowing? And look at that, even more interesting is that the 5 and dime stage is set. So that negates that theory that they were shutting down the fountain on days that the 5 and dime played. We are now back to wondering, why was the fountain off a solid 5 days a week? Not completely off. I would understand if it was completely off then, because then you got something technical going on. But it was on sometimes and off most of the time. Still a mystery. We'll head down Hollywood Boulevard and begin our show proper, but let me first preface that by saying, or observing, that we are in sort of a kind of a no man's land here in the parks right now. I'm not really sure how to predict what's going to happen today, in the sense that we had that period, the discount ticket season is over, but prior to that, the crowds were very busy. It was very popular here in the parks. People were trying to use up the last of those tickets. But then the week after, when we did our State of Disneyland report last week, it was very slow, very quiet, and that was, for the whole week or so. I couldn't believe how unbusy it was for most of the week. But then the crowds came roaring back at Disneyland Thursday. It was very busy, very busy. We did our weekly, who's in the park thing, where we give away food every day or every week during our live stream, and we buy somebody a mobile order. And I was looking at the times, and there was like 45 minutes, an hour wait to get a mobile order. Very busy in the park on Thursday. And then I was back in the parks doing our construction update on Friday. Very busy again that day. So I feel like the crowds are rebounding a little bit. And what can I possibly expect today? It does feel. Hi guys. Hi guys. It does feel like we're at least going to err on the more busy side. Let's take our first test. Let's go to the Hollywood backlot. Check out Mike and Sully to the rescue. Looking kind of light back here in the backlot, I gotta say. Not feeling any kind of folks here. I'm not feeling anything. I always feel like Mike and Sully looks almost closed darn near. Man, I have seen some hectic days out in front of this attraction, some just positively bonkers crowds filling up all this space out here, and hour-long waits in the queue. But that's saying just 30 minutes right now. 30 minutes for Mike and Sully. Got a few folks there in Lightning Lane. That's actually kind of busy for how not busy it was out there in, you know, the main area out here. Light out here, but lots of folks using their Lightning Lane right now. As for the back of the queue, it's growing. We're kind of in the middle of what we found 2 weeks ago. We found it last week. I want to say right here, we're down 2 more planters. So it's getting there. It's starting to grow. I don't think this is 30 minutes anymore, especially with that Lightning Lane. They're in a growth phase right now, I think. If we were to come back here in a little bit, it'll be 40, 45. Hey guys, thank you. Is it a go? I mean, 30 minutes on the board. It's kind of in the middle. I'm just asking that question. It's sort of in the middle, yeah. You just asked me if this would go. The thing is that it's probably not going to be 30, but it's still a bargain. If it does wind up being 30 minutes or thereabouts, which, you know, it's kind of in that range, that's still pretty good for Monsters. So you're not beating the clock necessarily, but you're still getting a pretty decent wait time. But here's the thing, if it's slow out here at 11, what are we at now, 11:22, if it's slow at 11:22, maybe you want to be taking advantage of that in some of the more popular attractions, right? Maybe you want to go look at Mission Breakout or Toy Story Midway Mania. I don't know. Now, I mentioned just a bit ago about the change in the complexion of the park, how there was a drastic shift in the crowd density immediately following the end of the discounted ticket season. And it was kind of nice, you know, I must admit. I don't like it to be too slow, but I also don't like it to be too busy either. Obviously, of course, I want it perfect, right? For everybody. I want everybody to have a good day, including the Disney company, but I digress. It was kind of nice to have that sort of relaxed atmosphere. And then I was kind of wondering, is this a win? Did Disney get what they wanted out of that discounted ticket season? Well, we got our answer, I think, because no sooner had that season ended than Disney announced another discounted ticket season coming up in January, right after the holiday season. Guests will once again be able to buy a discounted ticket. Now, in this case, though, it's going to be just the kids' ticket. Just the kids' ticket will be discounted. It'll again be as low as $50 a day for a single day or 1 day, 1 park ticket. But that's still pretty good. And and that's going to start actually October 22nd, I want to say. Actually, I'm going to pick that up here in just a second. We've arrived at the animation building, and I want to see how things look in here on this afternoon. It's been a minute since we've checked out the vibe in the animation building. Everything should be up and running except for, obviously, the library, which is no longer a thing. Okay. It's not bedlam in here. You can actually sit down. You can find a seat on one of those couches. That is not the norm. A lot of folks getting ready to go see Animation Academy, do a little drawing. It's always fun. There is the meet and greet queue for Anna and Elsa. Manageable. And then you got Turtle Talk with Crush at the Marine Life Institute. They're waiting for the next show to start, but this will probably not sell out. This is not going to be a full house. I would define this crowd in here right now as being modest. If you were interested in being here on a Sunday afternoon and enjoying what's happening at the animation building, this is a go. This is a place to be right now. Plus the AC, it is, like I said, it's getting a little warm. A delightful break from the rest of the mayhem that is DCA times, due to all the heavy influence of Lightning Lane. This is a nice place to be able to just do something at a reasonable time frame. And I've mentioned this before, and I forget to mention sometimes, is that these are attractions. These are things to do. One of the things that we talk about with respect to DCA is that there's not enough to do. There's not near as much to do as there is at Disneyland. Everywhere you turn at Disneyland, there's something else you can do. You have an option. Not so much here. Hopefully I didn't get copyrighted while I was in there doing all that. But, don't sleep on Turtle Talk with Crush, especially if you have kids. Don't sleep on the Animation Academy. It's one of the coolest things you can do, and you get a free souvenir when you're done. Sorcerer's Workshop, by the way, I didn't go down there, but that is still open. You still can go in there. You just can't go into Beast Library. So getting back to that discounted ticket, as I mentioned, it is kids only. There is not a discounted ticket for adults. They went out of their way to mention, but hey, there's lots of days for $100 on the calendar, which, this is the reason why they keep pushing that. They keep pushing those dates. That's the reason why Mondays are the new Saturdays now, because they keep pushing people into those cheaper dates. So that's going to start. You can start using those on January 7th. It is going to be, or I should say, there don't appear to be any blockout dates. So in the previous sale, it was Monday through Thursday only. But with this one, with just the kids, you can use it for any day. And I think what they're trying to encourage here is for families to take vacations together over a course, 2 or 3 days, and encourage that type of situation. That's where you get the $50 ticket. It's a 3-day ticket. And they do expire, and I believe this is another difference than what they were doing with the last sale. Once you use the first day, you've got 17 days. Was it 13 days. You've got 13 days to use the other 2 dates. Now, again, that sort of, hi guys, how are you? That enforces their desire to, position this towards families taking a vacation, a 3 or 4 day vacation. As opposed to somebody like me, who I would like to try to use that over the span of the entire 3 months that it's available. I would personally, I would want to use one in January, then maybe one in February, then maybe another one in March, but this ticket is not for me. So be aware of that. There is a difference. They do expire. Once you start using it, you've got 2 weeks to use the other 2 dates. Check in real quick on story time with Deadpool. It is 11:30 now as I record this, and the next show, the first show of the day actually, will be 11:45. And so it's still here. It's drawing, still people waiting. They're going to park here for 15 minutes. I'm wondering if are they going to keep this here for a while? If you had forced me to say whether or not they were going to keep this thing running beyond the theatrical runtime of Deadpool and Wolverine, I would have said no way. I would have said this is not the kind of thing that they're going to keep. Deadpool is here just to support and promote the movie, and that's pretty much it. But I mean, gosh, that movie's long. Well, I guess it's still in some theaters, but it's long been a thing. People are not talking about Deadpool versus Wolverine anymore, not in the way that they were. Maybe it is going to stay for a little while. Maybe it is. Which brings us to Mission Breakout, which is looking, again, just like we saw at the backlot, certainly less vigorous than we're accustomed to, although we are about 2 hours earlier than we often are here, and it's also a Sunday. Posted wait time for Mission Breakout is presently 40 minutes. It's so light, in fact, with respect to Lightning Lane, that they don't even have the ropes out. They're not even ready or looking to be adding Lightning Lane guests out here. There's just a few folks, hopping into the queue right now. More good news back here in the rear queue. Super light. Look at all that empty chains back there. Wow. These guys are going to be in the building. They're going to be in the queue proper in about 10 or 15 minutes tops. That's what I was alluding to back at Monsters Inc. I mean, yeah, it's light. Monsters Inc. is fine at 30. That's probably a bargain. But maybe because it's so light right now, you should be looking at tackling some of those biggie tickets. Posted 40 with that queue, that's a go situation. I'm thinking about getting into one of these queues. Usually I'm kind of on a time crunch when I go through these shows because I'm trying to power my way through, and I only get in the queues when they're super, super light. But we're getting on that border there. And I've got a little extra time today because we started so early. Let's go look and see what's happening at Web Slingers. If they're not using the bullpen, I think I might try it. Okay, posted at 35. which by itself is not terrible. They are using a little bit of this extended queue out here, which is not ideal. And it does look like guests are coming out of the bullpen back there behind the blue wall. If you see guests, if they're turning right, like those guests are right there, then that means they're going back there. The question is, how much of that queue are they using? I don't know. But still, you know what? Let me check Lightning Lane. There are 3, 4, 5 guests. A couple more coming in now. That's pretty light. I mean, gosh, I think I want to know. It's been a minute since I've done a time test here at Web Slingers. I think I want to know. Let me get out my stopwatch. And we'll time this, getting into the back of the queue here at 11:41. See how long this takes. Entering the bullpen at 11:43, so that's just a couple minutes to get around that corner. I'm gonna say 10 minutes in the bullpen. But we're nearly through. Heading back to the queue proper back there, the exterior queue that is. But we just passed the 10-minute mark, so looking like probably 13, maybe 2 or 3 more minutes to get there, to get to the, let's say, the brick wall over there. 12:10, and I think we're just about ready to go through the door. We have now been in the queue for 29 minutes.
If you want to sling a web, all you gotta do is sling your arm in the direction you want to shoot the web.
Do a high-stakes mission to save Avengers Campus. Esos niños.
About to our ride vehicle now. 40 minutes all in. 40 minutes to our ride vehicle.
You there, Spider-Man?
I'm here. Where are you?
On our way.
Actually, big problem.
Elevating threat level to legit crazy.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Hey, thanks for attending our open house presentation and preventing the destruction of the world as we know it.
Well, I was surprised on 2 counts there. I was surprised it took 40 minutes. I thought it was going to be quicker than that. I thought we were going to breeze through there in under 35. But I was also surprised it only took 10 minutes from the door to the vehicle. I thought that would take longer. So, you know, break even, I guess. 40 minutes isn't bad. A couple more quick stops before we exit Avengers Campus. Let's go check in on Pimp Test Kitchen. It is 12:29 in the afternoon. Again, perfect time to see the peak crowds here for the lunch rush at Pim's. And it is light in here. I thought it was a little crowded at the door, but that was just folks kind of loitering. It is just maybe 15 guests here in the queue right now. Very few, and just a couple people waiting for their mobile orders. Very, very light here at Pim Test Kitchen. We could even do a similar test like we do at San Fransokyo to see if we can find any open tables. There's one right there. There's a table right there. Probably going to be fewer on this side because they're sharing this with the tasting lab. So I would be surprised to see a table here. And there is not. Full. Yeah, oh no, there you go. 2 spots right here. And a third if you've got a third. The dining area at Pim Test Kitchen is routinely packed to the brim, like no space whatsoever. Never do you find an open table there, at least not during, you know, the lunch rush. Oh look, they're here. The Avengers are assembling. Well, actually, those aren't Avengers. But I can't do my test through Avengers Vault because they're not letting guests in and out of the normal entrance there. know, as we leave Avengers Campus right now on our way to Cars Land, I find myself suddenly missing the food and wine type kiosks out here. They run these shows so often these days that when they're gone, you know, it stands out, and I kind of miss it right now. I want a kiosk back out. Just not the Pixar Fest. Just not the Pixar Fest food. That was not a win. That did not go well. But I would love, gosh, wouldn't it be cool if we could get like a summertime food and wine? I'd be down with that. Actually, it's fall now, but I would love a summertime food and wine. Cars Land feeling all right. Pretty standard. We'll pop into Mater's and find, again, a standard 10-minute wait posted out there. And it's I definitely that. Not more than 10 minutes for sure. The guests are making an immediate left in here. You love to see that, by the way. You love to see guests making a left, right? I mean, this is always a go. I can't remember the last time I got into, or I looked at a Mater's queue and I'm like, no, I wouldn't get in that. I'd go every single time. I just choose not to most days, but obviously, you know, you see that left turn like that, that's a go situation. Take a quick stop in here at the Cozy Cones, just to take a lap and check out the queues here. Looks pretty light back here as well, though. Just a few minutes to get a churro. Oh, that's a light queue for ice cream cones. Just 5 people in that queue. 5 people, maybe 5 minutes. Con queso, easy peasy. Concoctions, also easy. Actually, that could be the biggest queue, or busiest queue we've seen here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10. It goes out here. 12 people in that queue, and then 1 person choosing pickle flavored popcorn. Probably, maybe. Meanwhile, let's check in on Flo's V8 Cafe. Oh, there's a bit of a queue. Not quite as bad as we saw last time, but I'm gonna guess maybe 10 or 12 groups there at least, maybe 15 groups. You're looking at 30 minutes there for standby. If we go to mobile order, Flo's is at 13 minutes. It's a 13-minute wait right now. Let's get lunch. Alright, order placed for Flo's V8 Cafe. Getting my standard, the Ramon's Low and Slow Club Sandwich. It's a great value and good tasting. We'll use that time to do the rest of our recon here. Look at Luigi's Rollicking Roasters and Raider Springs Racers. I think we're going to find some light times at each. Posted at 30 minutes. Looks kind of quiet in here, actually. Oh, there's the back of the queue right there. Is it? Well, let's go ahead and walk through. You might have noticed, by the way, with that little screen capture I did there to place the order, that they bumped us 5 minutes, which happens sometimes. Now, I could be using this time to actually spam. I could be, doing the mobile order refresh hack, but I want that 19 minutes now in order to finish what I'm doing, rather than trying to get it now. But I probably could, if I wanted to, get that now. And there is the back of the queue. Probably not 30 minutes, more like 20, 25 is my guess there. Across the way, Raider Springs Racers is next. 80 minutes. Yeah, I saw that coming around the corner. I couldn't help but declare my shock at seeing an 80-minute queue there for standby. That does not reconcile with what we're seeing in the rest of the park. 80 minutes. Wow. Let's just see. I mean, I don't see any lightning lane so far. It's completely empty right here, just for these cacti. That's it. It's just you being the cacti right now. take a quick tour back here. I'm just kind of shocked. Normally you expect an 80-minute queue. By now we should be seeing Lightning Lane by now. Okay, so we found the back of the queue. Still though, that's not 80. One of these days I'm gonna have to do the section math. I mean, I did sort of. I did. I may have to break that down. But if this stays like this, if Lightning Lane stays empty, just with the random guests coming in from time to time, they will definitely beat that 80-minute wait time. As a matter of fact, maybe we can figure that out while we eat lunch. It's actually getting shorter. I jumped in the queue for a minute just to see because the back of the queue moved up. So I'm gonna try and take a peek around the corner. Confirm. I mean, yeah, it's pretty tense here, but I don't see that. I don't even see the back of the queue. There's maybe five or 10 guests in Lightning Lane up there, which is just next to nothing. These guys are gonna breeze through this queue. So we'll go back to flows. We'll post up out on the outside dining area there with our Ramones Low and Slow Club. Enjoy our lunch, take in the view, watch the guests go through the queue from a distance, see if we can spot anybody, on the track and figure out. I don't think it's going to be 8 minutes. It could be half that, which is very rare, by the way. Very rare that you get a discount in the middle of the afternoon, as we would say every 2 weeks on this report. But the reason why this date seems to be different than that normally being the case is because normally the posted wait time is accurate. Normally the posted wait time is pretty much right on the dot. I was gonna say button, then I said dot. But it's posted 80, which is just not, hey, hi guys, which is just not near correct. So I think we might be able to observe this happen today. All right, lunch is served here at Flo's V8 Cafe. It took us 20 minutes all in from placing the order to getting it served to us and finding our table here. 20 minutes, so that's pretty good. I'm happy with that very much, especially considering we were able to get our recon in the process, being able to do something besides standing and waiting in the queue. And that is our Ramones Low and Slow Club. It's delicious. It's a good value. And this is really a lovely way. That's our view and a lovely way to spend an afternoon eating lunch here at DCA. We're going to stand by and enjoy this and see if we can't. Hopefully, there's a chance we're not going to be able to wait long enough. I'll say that. The goal here is to hope to see that back of the queue hit the exit in like 40, 45 minutes. All right, lunch at Flo's V8 was great. Enjoyed the view. Got to listen to some cool, chill music. Watch the cars go by. It has been 35 minutes now since we were in the back of the queue there at Radiator Springs Racers. Let's see if we can't find that back of the queue. Wow, look at that, you guys. I mean, if that's not a validation of why you watch this show, I haven't started looking for the back of the queue yet, but they've got it at 40 minutes. They adjusted it down to 40 minutes. They probably heard me and they're saying, that's not an 80-minute queue, that's a 40-minute queue. And it looks like I was probably right. Let me see here, did I get here too late even? No, I don't think so. We'll stand by. And I stood by for less than a minute before I started watching the back of the queue pass by me just now. It is 1:30. It was 12:53 when we marked that back of the queue. It's been 37 minutes just all in. 37 minutes to get to the vehicle and to ride and exit. So actually to the vehicle is probably closer to 30 minutes. Watch FreshBaked, guys. I've got it dialed, you guys. I've got it dialed. Watch FreshBaked. Hey, you know what you do? You watch FreshBaked every week. We do a State of Disneyland report. We do a State of DCA report. We do a construction report. We've also got the newsletter where you can get further recon analysis and our Patreon campaign, plus more recon videos coming out all the time, including our studies that we do. We go in the lab in the park. And I just shot, the other day I shot a midday strategy session from 12 to 4 to kind of see how things flow throughout the park at that time. Stay tuned for that. That's coming up this week. That was really cool, you guys. And that makes it 1:33 as we approach San Fransokyo. This actually looks kind of packed in here right now. Ooh, look at the queue for Baymax meet and greet. I was wondering how long this would last, and it's holding up. Gosh, it's been a while, right, since they opened up San Fransokyo and this meet and greet, and he is still drawing one of the biggest crowds you'll see, anywhere in the park to meet Mickey, Minnie, Iron Man, you name it. This is about the longest queue you'll find here for a character meet and greet for Baymax. That's terrific. Let's see. Cocina looking busy as heck right now. It is 1:33, so we are in peak time. That's a big wait right there. Gosh, I almost wish I tested this standby or mobile order versus standby here, but that's probably a 30-minute wait right now. And then let's see. Keep moving. I got to keep talking because this has now become a copyright zone. That J-pop music they play here is copyrighted, so I've got to be mindful. But I want to take a quick peek at Lucky Fortune Cookery. Wow. Oh, there they are. I found them. This was just Lightning mobile order. The standby cube, though, it's not near as busy here as it was at Cocina, though I have found this queue to be quite crazy at times, but not today. This is manageable, but that's still a 20-25 minute wait there. But mobile order, you know what? Let me check. Let me check what mobile order is saying. For Lucky, 10 minutes. For Lucky Fortune, Aunt Cass is now, and Cocina is in 20 minutes. Next State DCA report, we'll have lunch here at San Fransokyo. It's been a while since I've been to Lucky Fortune. I think since they changed the menu. I've been one time since they changed the menu. I haven't had a chance to get back there yet. Been to Cocina a couple times, and Cass a couple times. It's been a while since I've been to Lucky Fortune. We'll do that one next. Let's go look at that tip board. Okay, tip board, DCA. Golden Zephyr, 5 minutes. Hey, it's running, that's great. Goofy Sky School is not. It's closed. Return time right now is just under an hour, so you can book one. But you can't get in the queue. Hopefully it's not the case by the time we get there. Grizzly River one, a modest 40 minutes. That's kind of surprising. It's warm. It's going to be hitting the low to mid 80s here any minute now. So that's 40 minutes standby, 310, that's an hour and a half. Return time, gosh, golly. Well, you know what, that's right, it's 30 minutes. That's still light though, but that could be because they're gonna close it at 2. So they're just letting in the last of the standby before they close it at 2 and reopen for Monsters After Dark. There you go. Incredicoaster at 25 minutes, that's kind of a bargain right now. Look at that. It's been a while since we've seen something like this. We used to see this frequently during the summer and in the spring, but a return time of now. A lightning lane return time of now for Incredicoaster. Inside Emotional Whirlwind is 25 minutes, the same wait for Emotional Whirlwind as is for Incredicoaster. That's surprising. Jesse's Critter Carousel is 5, Jumpin' Jelly 5. Little Mermaid 15. Didn't we see it at 45 at one point last time? Amazing. That's got a return time of now. Luigi's is at 25. That's where we left it. Same for Mater's Junkyard or Graveyard Jamboree. 10 minutes where we left it. Monsters. It's standard 40 minutes, but again, the return time is now. So this is a very light Fast Pass or Lightning Lane day. Interesting. Radiator Springs, we just saw it at 40 minutes, and the return time is now for that as well. And Silly Symphony closed. So 20 minutes. Heavens to Betsy. 20 minutes for Soarin'? Did they add a theater? Are they running 3 theaters now? And look at, even Toy Story is a modest 45 minutes. light day today, guys. That's the only 45 for Web Slingers. I forgot that one, which is on the high end, I guess. So really, there's no other way to look at this today other than to say it's a nice, pleasant, light day, not busy at all. And it continues what we saw last week at Disneyland for our State of Disneyland report, that the discounted ticket had a dramatic effect on crowds. We've seen pockets of busy. We've seen periodic places or times, days of the week where it was busy, as I mentioned last Thursday and last Friday. But all in all, it's just not very busy here at all. Guys, wait for the discounted ticket sale to end before coming to Disneyland. That is the observation of the day. Of course, that last one was for 3 months, and I don't know if people are going to wait 3 months. So you know what you do is you come on the high ticket price days. That's the tip. If you don't mind spending $150, $170, $180 versus $100, then that's what you do, because everybody, it seems like, or most people, or a large percentage of people, are waiting for either a discounted ticket price like we had for adult tickets, or for the tickets to be sold at $100, tier 0, or whatever it is. That's what they're waiting for. A lot of people are doing that. Just gonna take this in for a minute. I hope you guys don't mind. Nice. Getting ready for that loop. Yeehaw. All right. I haven't seen a car come out yet. We should be launching. Where's... Oh, there he goes. So I haven't heard from Dash for a minute.
Head back, face forward, and hold on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Incredicoaster is awesome. Nobody in single rider right here. We usually find the queue back here at this end. There are some guests in there. There's maybe 3, 6, maybe a dozen guests here, and then another batch just went in. We're going into the elevator. Another 15 guests there. I'm not sure how often I mentioned this. I know I mentioned it before, but I've done some analysis on single rider and Incredicoaster. It is not a good single rider in my opinion. You might beat standby. You probably will beat standby. Maybe, I don't know, but it's not by a lot. And somehow I feel like it's better to just get in the standby queue. That's been especially if you're with a group. If you're by yourself, I guess there's no risk. But when you go in standby, you also can pick your seat. So you can pick the front or the back. You can't do that with single rider. You got to go where they put you. So the back of the queue is in that little bonus area down there. Not too bad. What you're trying to avoid is down here in this little bullpen. If you can avoid that, you're usually in pretty good shape. If you can keep it in the terraced, where the the risers, as it were. If you can manage that, you're probably in pretty good shape. If you also want to be checking to see how thick the lightning lane queue is over there, that's the fact that they're going right in is a pretty good sign. So they're going to be brushing through these lightning lane guests pretty quickly. That's probably a 25-minute wait. No waiting for Jesse's. Just jump right in. Nice and light here in front of Midway Mania. This is usually a really dense spot. This is a pinch point for crowds, but often it is because they're getting traffic here with the meet and greet, so that's not happening right now, so that could be why we're getting a break crowd-wise here, but this is, hey, how are you? But that's why we're getting a nice breezy walk through here. Haven't had to like dodge any guests or anything. That's always good. It's one of my tells, as it were. If I'm having to slide left or slide right to get out of people's way, you know, not a lot of that, just casual drifting. Now I'm looking at, it's posted 45 right now, and I'm looking at a very long standby queue here for Toy Story. But the reason why it's still 45, even though you've got this very deep queue, is because there's nothing happening in Lightning Lane. We just saw that on the tip board. A lot of attractions are in the now, definition, as it were, but so people are not buying Lightning Lane Multipass today. They're not buying it. It has long been a desire of mine to try to figure out a way, if I can programmatically or with data, figure out what drives sales up and what drives sales down for Lightning Lane. Like why? Because we have days where Lightning Lane's just bonkers. It's incredibly bad, and I still don't know what that is. I think that one of the things that's going to happen in the near future is the incentivizing guests to buy Lightning Lane in advance, to buy it like with their when they buy their ticket. And one way you do that, like they're doing at Walt Disney World, is by allowing guests to book a couple of Lightning Lane reservations in advance. That will be a determining factor. They're not doing that here yet, but they very easily could. But I would be curious to know. I haven't really had a chance to, maybe when Laramie gets to Walt Disney World in November, we can start looking into that. But I'd be curious to know how that's affected Lightning Lane in Florida at Walt Disney World. I forgot to check. Did I check the Pixar Pal Around? I didn't. I didn't check the standby wait times for the Pal Around, or the Pixar Pal Around, because I am desirous of going on today, perhaps. Let me see here. It says 20 for the swinging gondola and 10. Wow. I didn't check the back of the queue. We're gonna get surprised here. I'm just gonna jump in. I figured how bad could it be if it's posted at 10? But we're gonna take a peek around the corner to see what happens. Right here at this corner is about 25 minutes. This corner right there is about 25. This will be about 20. And really, that's the goal. You want anything inside of this if you can help it when you're at the Pixar Pal Around. I'm still like, oh, look at that. We have made it all the way to the last wall, so that is a 10-minute queue. That's fantastic.
To be safe, once you're on board, you should definitely remain seated with your hands.
One great benefit from doing this attraction when it's so slow like this is that you get your own gondola. I am solo in my gondola today, which means I can shoot whatever. Hi!
One more time!
That guy's awesome. Looks like the queue has grown a little bit. It's around the corner now. I've been aware of that guy for a while here. I didn't know he knew who I was. I don't know, I feel validated again. Oh, those are our first screamers. I feel validated again. We're going backwards. Oh! That was empty. And I think that's about our trip. All right, mission accomplished. 10 minutes. Non-swinging gauntlet. Got a little recon done for construction reports. We're looking at backstage at Avengers Campus. And over here on this lot. And over there, trying to see if we can see anything happening. Spoiler alert, nope, not much. Also not much happening here. At the Emotional Whirlwind, 15-minute posted. And you've got maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 rotations. You're looking at about 15 minutes, yeah. 2:25 and temperatures are up to 84 degrees. And I feel like the enthusiasm for this day has gone down by the guests in attendance here. It feels a little bit busier, you know, fractionally a little bit busier than it was before, but there's not quite the energy. 5 minutes, by the way, for Silly Symphony swings. There's nobody down here. A couple, oh my God, it's practically empty. These guests that are climbing those stairs right now are gonna go right into the next batch. Wow. Well, I sure hope if you love the Silly Symphony swings, now's the time to go. Look at that, it's just empty right there. There are presently, in total, 8 guests there, plus the group that we just saw go up the stairs. So 12 total. They're not even gonna fill the swings. Looking here, there's 1, there's 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna get dizzy looking at this. Maybe 6 or 7 empty seats on that Silly Symphony swing right now. No waiting for a beer at Bayside Brews. You guys, seriously. You could just walk up and get yourself a pretzel beer, which by the way sounds incredible. That is one of the things that I always look forward to when I come to DCA, are opportunities to get a pretzel and a beer. You get that pretzel and beer and then you go sit underneath the Silly Symphony swings over there and you watch the, you know, the Watercolor Bay, the Paradise Bay. I love chilling out here with a pretzel and a beer. Let's go check out Paradise Gardens. I'm going to expect not much to be happening. Oh my gosh. I was going to say I'm not expecting much to be happening here. There's nobody waiting for pasta. Nobody waiting for a slice of pizza. It is off hours right now. It's, let me see here, 2:30. So it's not exactly prime time for lunch, but still, nobody's getting any food right now. There are just a handful of folks in here, and that's it. Wow. Tables? What about tables? 3 open tables right there, another one, 4, a whole bunch of seating back here. Oh my gosh, it's all open back there. Again, there are times when you can walk through here and not find a table, or you have to just keep doing laps until you see one appear. Lots and lots of tables available. Well, that's happening. Meanwhile, we've got a posted wait time here at Goofy Sky School of 15 minutes. No chance. The ramp is full, this section is full, and this third section is full. Sections 1, 2, and 3 all full. Hey, I just defined them. Section 1, Section 2, Section 3. All full. This is, they probably have had this at 15 for a little while, drew a crowd, and very soon they will be adjusting that time out there to probably, I'm gonna say 30, 35 minutes, because you're looking at a good 10 minutes for each one of these sections. Well, probably not, maybe 7 or 8. But you know, we've been here and seen, you know, even that queue back there take 20 minutes or so. Check it out. I took a minute to go watch a little bit of that show, and they grew it out here into the yard, into the garden. That's incredible. It's still 15 minutes. I'm kind of shocked. I kind of am shocked that they're leaving it there, considering they grew the queue. They grew the queue to allow for more guests because they had more guests than they were ready for, and yet they still left it at 15 minutes. We're over here in the garden. That's 15 minutes right there by itself. And here they come. Here they come, coming from Paradise Garden and from the just completed Coco show. Filling in. You know, the finale of this show is going to be, or this segment is going to be when they finally update the wait time. Well, things aren't moving very briskly here. We're now been here for 12 minutes total. Things are not moving very briskly. The back of the queue when we first arrived is now somewhere at the far back of that queue right there. So they still got to go up this one, then back up again there, and then back that way. So you're looking at still another probably 15 minutes at least. They're looking at a 30-minute wait by the time they're done. Meanwhile, the folks that have gotten in this queue since then are looking at something closer to 45 minutes. Meanwhile, Goofy Sky School has gone from 15 to 55. They've added 40 minutes. I thought they might bump it to 40 or 45. They bumped it all the way to 55 minutes. Gotta find the back of the queue. Don't trust the posted wait time. It could be wrong on both sides. People talk about this all the time, like, oh, Disney inflates the time. They want to make it look higher than it really is so they can sell Lightning Lane. No, they can get it wrong on the downside too. Sometimes you can't trust that 15 either. It sucks. That's why I do what I do though. Park signs, man. Now watch what happens though. We're gonna go back there in a few minutes after we check out Little Mermaid up here. We're gonna go back there and see first if we can find if the back of the queue has gotten onto a ride vehicle, but also too, to see where the back of the queue is, because they have just turned a call to action to come get in the Goofy Sky School queue when it was 15 minutes. That's a call to get in. And they've turned it into a call to get out, to stay away. Don't come to Goofy Sky School. We've got a 55-minute wait time, so that's going to affect the back of the queue. It's going to get shorter and shorter. Meanwhile, Little Mermaid is popping. That's a healthy queue right there, you guys. They're using almost all of it. So we're looking at probably 20 or 30 minutes there, I'm betting. Goodness gracious. But fear not, just like Small World and Pirates, this is actually even less affected by Lightning Lane. Yeah, sure it exists, but right now I'm looking at the Lightning Lane queue, and there's about 6 people in it. And they're just those guys are gonna get on, and they're gonna take a couple clamshells, and they'll be done. And that thing will be cleared. It takes hardly any time at all to clear the Lightning Lane queue here at Little Mermaid. It's practically worthless. Meanwhile, we've got another situation out here that we've been noticing throughout the park otherwise, where there are large areas that are just kind of wide open and not near as dense or compacted. It's just kind of casual. I haven't had any trouble making my way through the crowds. You know, I don't have to I haven't been shoulder checked. I haven't, had to sidestep anybody real quick. It's been breezy. Posted wait time there says 20 minutes. Well, just about 10 minutes later, we're still waiting for the back of the queue to get to their vehicles. They are about maybe 10 minutes away still. They've been in the queue now for 20 minutes, and they're about 10 minutes to go still. Meanwhile, the back of the queue has shrunk. They're not using any of this, and they're only using about a quarter of the garden. So they will probably be flexing that wait time back down again a little bit, but it's definitely impacted. This is what I'm talking about. You see the 55-minute queue. This queue is actually, the queue that we're looking at now is actually shorter, I'll bet. Let me see here. Can you fit those guests into this space? Because it was right here. Actually, it was here. They were using this queue right here as well. I feel like this is shorter than it was when we got here when it was 15, and it's posted 55 right now. So the question is that a go situation? There's a difference between being a win against the standby wait time, the posted time, and a go situation. You are going to save time. That's a win against the posted. That's 30 or 35. You're going to save 15, 20 minutes against the posted. But is that the shortest queue you're going to find this afternoon? Well, are you trying to get the shortest one? I don't know. I would say that that's probably a go for me. I take that back. I might get in maybe 5 or 10 minutes later if I can find something else to do. If I'm looking to get a treat or something, a snack, get something to drink, or maybe even spend 20 minutes in Little Mermaid, do that and let the 55 minutes do its work on the back of the queue, and then get in. If it's possible. I mean, that's ideal. And that'll probably be pretty hard to execute, I think. So if you're in Goofy Sky School right now and you see 55 and you want to go, that's probably the queue to get in right now, I think. Hi. And now finally arriving at Grizzly River Run, posted at 40. That's Lightning Lane right here. There's hardly anybody there. That's a good sign. You'd like to see that. I got a real good guess already that that's a go situation, that we're not going to find anything that's going to dissuade me from suggesting to get in this queue. Posted 40 is good by itself, but that's just about all of the queue right there in your frame. And I think it does, oh no, it is back there in the office. But still, it's not out here. On a hot day, you'll take that. Yeah, they are back there in the office. I mean, that's a go for me. That's a go, especially if there's no lightning lane happening right now, which there hasn't been all day. Still no fountains either. They want you to think there's some bubbling happening down there. It's percolating, but nothing has sprouted. Spouted? Ain't nothing happening. We don't even, and absolutely nothing happening out here in the actual raft path. And finally, we've arrived at Condor Flats. Winding down our afternoon. I'm looking at the back of the queue back there. That's kind of long. We saw Soarin' at 20 when we were checking the tip board, and I thought there's just no way. There's no way that's realistic. Monorail, there you go. What a beaut. She's a beaut, Clark. 20 minutes, it was posted then. It says 25 now. There's the posted wait time. I don't think so. I mean, unless like I was joking, maybe they did add a third theater. Yeah, when you see the queue back there, 25 minutes is about here. This front half maybe is 25 minutes, and then you add another 10 or 15 for that back half. And that's if you don't get too much interference from Lightning Lane. You're gonna get some. And here at the entrance, you can see it's pretty sporadic right now. Still maybe 5 or 10 guests getting into the queue there. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that one time when the Lightning Lane queue was all the way out here, and then it turned left, and it was almost all the way to Fiddler Pfeiffer Practical Cafe? That was awesome. And as we leave, finally, make our way back to Carthay Fountain, Carthay Circle. We're actually, for the first time today, we're seeing a healthy supply of guests in the park, but just like 2 weeks ago, this is that point. It's a Oogie Boogie night, and the Oogie Boogie guests are mixing in with regular park guests. So we're seeing this is the peak level of crowds right now. There's a couple of folks doing their best to get in the spirit of the Halloween season. I love it. Yeah, look at this, man, goodness. It'll only be like this for until about 6 o'clock. And then well, actually everybody will leave. Hope you guys enjoyed this show. I hope you learned something. Hope you had fun doing a little park science with me and taking this tour around the park. We sure did enjoy bringing it to you. I absolutely love these shows and I love you guys. So if you did like this show and want to show your support, please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com. Patreon.com/FreshBaked. Wow, that was a struggle. Hi guys. You can also follow us on Instagram. My goodness, I'm a fish going upstream. On Instagram at _FreshBaked. On Twitter at FreshBaked Disney, that's fresh with no E. And on TikTok at FreshBaked Disney. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, everybody. We love you very much. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. FreshBaked.